Motorcycles packed the showroom floor at the O'Connell Fieldhouse today in Caldwell. The 39th annual Vintage Motorcycle Show drew bike enthusiasts from all over the state to show off their stuff. Brandon Fonda is live in studio with the details.
Karen, what once was a show of just a few vintage bike collectors showing off their rides in a Boise park has now grown to over 200 club members from 5 different states. We went to this year's event to show you the sights and sounds of some classics and tell you a little bit about a club that's 40 years in the making. If you like the classics, then you'll find them here. The Idaho Vintage Motorcycle Club brings in people from all over to show off their bikes.
Motorcycle enthusiasts from across the valley, and I believe we have 5 states represented today. They bring out their little treasures and share them with everybody.
They may look new, but there's an age limit on this showroom floor, vintage only.
Well, vintage is 25 years or older, but you know, we've had motorcycles here that go back to the early teens.
Richard Renstrom knows all about the classics. He's one of only 3 remaining founders of the club, started back in 1977.
We started the first few years in a city park in Boise. I got tired of having to go to California for vintage bike events and decided that we ought to have one in Idaho.
Almost 40 years later, it's grown to almost 200 showing up with vintage bikes from all over the world.
Italy, from Germany.
It represents so many years of motorcycling history that you just don't get to see.
This is my 1952 Ariel. It's a British bike, a 500cc single cylinder.
From just a few guys getting together, now to hundreds, complete with judges and awards. The Vintage Motorcycle Club has truly grown into something special.
It's an excellent club. It's very family oriented. It's low key. We get together and enjoy each other's bikes and help each other keep them running.
I got my first motorcycle in the spring of 1951 when I was a sophomore at Boise High School. It was freedom for us.
The Idaho Vintage Motorcycle Club will have the show next year. For a link to other events on their Facebook page, go to idahoonyourside.com. Live in studio, Brandon Fonda, Fox 9 on your side.